Aries, this is your April 2023 soul story. Happy solar returns for those of you born this month. It's Romy. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to this conversation. We have a lot happening in the cosmos this month and to share with you to help you navigate the next few weeks. We're going to open up with the energy of the King of Pentacles. There are some really big personal changes coming, and this is a month where there is really this new cycle, this new initiation taking place for you, Aries. You're going to find that you have a laser focus, even if you have been struggling or there's been some uncertainty or confusion. In fact, sometimes when we don't know, that's when we really start to pay attention, when we really start to listen. And what you're going to find this month is the more that you can settle into that experience, the more answers are going to be served up for you. Now, at the beginning of the month, we have the Sun, Aries, Chiron, Jupiter, Estrella, Vesta, and Mercury still in your sign. All of this energy is so supportive. We're in the cycle of these two powerful new moons. The first, of course, taking place March 21st, and then in April we're going to welcome a solar eclipse, black moon in your sign on the 19th of the month, coming in at 29 degrees, that critical degree, that fated unfolding. There are not many Aries who are not going to be affected significantly by the changes that are unfolding over these few weeks. And the King of Pentacles is suggesting to me that we need to move into this month with a groundedness. We need to understand that having an open heart and an open mind, but also the discernment, having been able to reflect and look back on our experiences, we realize that we are prepared to deal with anything that comes our way, because eclipse season, of course, so often the changes are non-negotiable, and so we have this requirement to have to navigate and to almost notice. And here's what I feel like: there's going to be this incredibly strange energy for you this month, like really deja vu, very deep. It's almost like you're going to be at times watching your life playing in slow motion. But the first part of April, right up to the 7th, where all planets are still direct, it's an incredibly active time for you. As we move later into the month, there's a little bit more of a kind of stopping and reflecting, yeah? And the Two of Pentacles is suggesting that there is something that you are weighing up considerably this month. What I'm going to say to you, Aries, is if you knew that you would succeed without question, unequivocally, then what would you put your energy behind, and how would that change your decision-making process? Because it's definitely a month to be bold. Now, when we open up April on the 3rd of the month, Mercury in Taurus is going to square with Pluto, so something a little bit disruptive and combative and blocking, perhaps by way of news and information. Now, that's leading up to a full moon at 16 degrees in Libra. This whole me versus we is really playing out powerfully in the themes this month. And what you're going to find is that particularly at the beginning of April, Aries, you are going to be considering, how do I figure out in my life like a balance that suits me? Now, maybe it's in friendships, maybe it's in a romantic relationship or at work. You know, how can I maintain my sense of independence, that sacred self-empowerment, or exercise something that I know I need to do in this reinvention period of my solar returns, at the same time as come together or find that connection or foster that sense of unity with others? And wherever it plays out, it will be hitting on some area specifically for you. And, you know, coming up to that full moon, it might feel like it's a little bit challenging. What I do want to say to you is that whatever comes through and whatever kind of news or conversations that feel like they're going nowhere or sending you round in circles, or you feel like you can't find a solution, you keep in mind this open heart, open mind, because against the odds, as we come away from that full moon, especially when we hit the 7th and Venus is going to be sextile to Neptune, there's a really dreamy, kind of soul-soothing experience that comes back around. So if any feathers get ruffled, what you will find is things coming back into balance. There's this sense of real untapped potential being understood by you, and in a way, finally, I think for some of you, knowing what you're supposed to do with that, or at least having more of a sense of certainty that you are willing and able to create space in your life to explore it, is what I want to say. And there's kind of like this tremor, this kind of building sense of excitement and anticipation that's going to come in around that. And sometimes it's hard, isn't it, to sort of figure out if what we're feeling into is a sense of dread or fear, or if it's a sense of excitement. I want you to decide and make that bold choice for yourself to say that when you are starting to experience these very physical symptoms, remember, the body always expresses what the mind suppresses. Yeah, so if you're not acknowledging something, if you haven't taken the time to be really honest and truthful with yourself, and the universe will be calling you out all over the place through the course of this month, you have the strength to be able to see something through. Now look at all this yellow coming in. You know, this is all very solar plexus energy. It is a time to stand in your power. Now, April's going to be really interesting because what we're going to find is that new guides, new mentors, new people, somebody of significance is going to be showing up in your life. And there's a reason for that, Aries. They're here to open a door. They're here to unlock something. They're here to reveal something to you. So again, wherever this shows up in your life, it's also going to be a bit of a game-changing moment for you. Now, Venus is going to move into Gemini from the 10th of the month. You will enjoy the experience of that air energy coming in with your fire, and something ignites very quickly. And then we approach on the 11th of the month what I really want to encourage you to be aware of as an incredibly auspicious date, okay? Sun conjunct Jupiter, also Venus trining Pluto. Now, the last time Sun conjunct Jupiter in your sign was April in 2011, so you might want to think back around that time and see what was playing out for you. But regardless, something exciting, the promise of something, news, information. And remember, whatever it is that you're experiencing, because we're all on a different soul journey right now, you know, even if you feel like you're in the midst of ruin, that ruin brings truth. And the truth is that the most precious parts of you, of your life, of your experience, of who you are, cannot be taken. They cannot be destroyed. And so wherever you find yourself, there's still an upside. There's still a surge of positive energy coming in around that mid-month. So pay attention and be open and in a receptive energy for it. I want to remind you that, you know, you get to alchemize whatever it is that you feel you're not receiving. Yeah, so rather than the focus and the attention being on that strength tells me you have the resolve, the tenacity to be able to transform it and seed something completely different. So you become the source of what you are not receiving, Aries. The love that you seek, the respect that you desire, the compassion that you're in need of, the positivity, the support, the abundance, whatever it is. Yeah, you've had the opportunity for all the dreaming. This is the time now for the doing. And that Ace of Pentacles, along with the King, is grounding something in. Now, what's really interesting about April is as we look around in the world and the chaos and the challenge continues to unfold, more light is drenching the earth than ever before. And when I talk about this whole idea of being able to really tap into not only your own potential, but to be aware of new energies and guides that are showing up. Part of this is our access and our understanding to those seventh dimensional energies, the archangels, the angels, unicorn energy. Now, unicorn energy is going to be all the way through this reading. I've got 2 decks. My meditation in the Sacred Soul Support this month is meeting your unicorn energy. This is where my guides are directing me, because as much as we look out and see what's broken, we are receiving abilities to be able to tap into higher frequency and bring more light and more soul healing through. And what's interesting is some of those experiences for many of you who have been working intuitively, psychically, energetically, it's not necessarily going to feel so incredible as perhaps some of the breakthroughs that you've had before. It will feel almost like a business as usual. Well, of course they're showing up now, or of course this is what I'm feeling into. Of course I'm able to now see this in my meditations, or to know the presence of these beautiful mythical beings around me. And again, this is a sign of just how much growth there has been for you. Now, we've got the Six of Swords because this is this rite of passage, but you're holding on to something really heavy this month, and there's a requirement to let it go. There's a requirement to set it down. You can see this anchoring coming in here. As soon as that happens, I think that there's this surge of energy that comes through. Maybe for some of you, it's just a need to be able to share something with someone. You've maybe been holding on to something very close to your chest, or something that you've been going through, or something that you're even planning or thinking about, and for whatever reason there's been a need to kind of keep that to yourself, or perhaps you just haven't had the support system in place. But as you embark on this new chapter, as this new cycle comes in, remember the universe is going to be bringing people in for you to be able to feel safe and secure to share that knowledge with. There's also this sense of some emotional energy that feels a little difficult to deal with. Perhaps that's coming from somebody else, or it's something that you yourself, again, are having to navigate. A little bit of depression, anxiety, some wildly flux mood swings that are going on. Again, remember the intensity of this eclipse coming through in your sign, isn't to be underestimated. And as we approach this new moon, kind of act 2, if you like, from that initial new moon on the 21st, there's something that comes in that is irrefutable, that lands powerfully. And the journeying that's required, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever has taken place between these 2 days, there's something fundamental that has changed within you. And almost like this feeling of like there's no going back from this point. Now, right after that, of course, the sun will shift into Taurus in your second house of value. And again, a requirement on your part through this time in the month to really reevaluate and to start to think about, what do I need to now do differently? There might be some confusion or uncertainty about what the right decision is at that point. Remember when I said what we don't know, we then have an opportunity to really start to pay attention and start to listen. And I think your guides here are going to be showing you something very specific about what the right way or the right choice or decision is for you at that time. Now remember, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde coming in this month on the 21st. And when that happens, all of this active energy, we do have a chance really to just kind of slow down, to stop and to reflect what just happened, perhaps to catch our breath a little bit. And remember, when we have a solar eclipse new moon, not always the best time to sit in tension, rather to really acknowledge and accept what just went on and to take time to integrate some of those ideas and inspirations and the actions that have taken place. And again, I'm going to return to this theme that I'm being shown by my guides around the me versus we, and perhaps what you need to do in your life to be able to find the balance between those 2 things. Yeah, you got to remember that the magic arrives the minute that you desire to find a new way, Aries, for something to be different, for you to want more. That's when the spark happens. That's when the growth happens. And remember, growth rarely arrives quietly. So with these eclipse energies, there could be major upheavals or things that are coming in with a course correct for you. But this is not an opportunity for you to be a shrinking violet. Like I said, if you know that you would succeed, what would you put your energy behind this month? Now, we have a little bit of a volatile, bumpy energy coming in around the 27th, where Mars squares Chiron. Yeah, however, as we approach the 29th, the 30th, there's a much more sweet, gentle, harmonious energy where Mars and Uranus are going to be in a nice conversation. So again, if you've got anything going on around the 27th, especially relationship, family connections, there is going to be something that sort of gets resolved or comes back into a more balanced, harmonious experience around that date. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull our final 3 cards for the month. If you're new to the channel, Aries, we do cover these off in the extended version of the reading. You will find the details in the comment and the description box underneath, okay, just to give you all the instructions as how to find that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and clarify our main cards, see what else wants to come up for us, that's going to give us a direction on where we will take that extended reading. Just beginning with the King of Pentacles. We've got the Magician energy coming in. I love that for you this month. And the World. Of course, you're still feeling into all these major planetary changes from the March energy. March and April, some of the most important, significant times for you through the course of this year. Wheel of Fortune, I'm not surprised that's coming up at all. Five of Pentacles. What's so important is that you keep focused in and around the feeling of achieving and moving forward and progressing, not looking at those areas of your life where you feel there is still a void or emptiness or lack or scarcity. Look, you've got 2 Ace of Pentacles coming through for you this month. Beautiful beginnings coming in for that solar returns. We've got the Chariot, a lot of travel energy coming in here. 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. See this even balancing up. So even if we have something coming through with that 5 that feels like something's taken from you, it almost feels like it comes back around twice as much. So have no fear around that, especially with the eclipse energies that can be incredibly disruptive. Star energy coming through here. Ace of Water, love that. And the 4 of Air. There's a little bit of that contemplation, quiet time coming in as we start to work with Mercury retrograde toward the end of the month, okay? I do just get the word haywire, things feeling a little haywire toward the end. I think all of that combustible fire and then hitting into a retrograde and an eclipse. So, you know, just be prepared for sort of all eventualities. Try to keep your schedule super light, and I think that you'll navigate through this month. You've got that strength energy, so I know it's going to be supporting you. And I want you to just think about a personal question, Aries, something that might not have immediately revealed itself in the main reading, and we are going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards for this for you as well. Beautiful. And I am going to now pull Life Soul Vision, my oracle deck. And you'll also have noticed that Moon Musings, my book, is now out, so all the pre-orders have been shipped. You will find the book over on my website, and in April it will also be going on to Amazon, and you'll also find a digital and audio version coming as well. So thank you so much for all of you who have supported me. Soul Star energy, love this. Conscious connection. Spirit Wolf, certainty of trust. The Gathering. If you do have something like really significant by way of a like coming together with family, friends, or some kind of work event or something going on, I think there's something really interesting about it. I feel like you get to show up as like this new version of yourself and be really unapologetic with that. And I think, you know, it might cause a few sort of raised eyebrows, but I quite like the defiance in you this month in regards to that. And I feel that even if there are a few ripples, you've got your line coming through again here, even if there's a few ripples by what's said, or, you know, the energy that sort of is building up to it, I honestly feel that you are in your power. You're in your power, okay? Right, so let's look at these unicorn. I really got encouraged by my guys to use 2 different decks, so they really wanted to bring through the unicorn energy. And as I said, you can find the Sacred Soul Support Guided Soul Journey. And in the shadow this month, we're also looking at releasing sacred vows and how they're impacting or blocking your energy or your progress. Okay, what do we have? Freedom, beautiful. Live wild and free. Choose your freedom. Claim your independence. Oh, it's a perfect card for Aries. And this is the Diana Cooper deck as well. Unicorn energy really does work with us at a soul level, yeah. And as we are exposed and we're able to tune in and tap into and receive the 7th dimensional energy so much more effortlessly moving forward, it's just going to open up your world in so many beautiful ways. Go with the flow, relax and trust, accept what is happening. That Wheel of Fortune is telling me that everything that's taking place through the course of this month is leading you to where you need to be. Big personal changes coming. I look forward to continuing this cosmic conversation in the extended reading, Aries, if you're joining me then. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. You will find the deck and the book over on my website, as well as the Sacred Soul Support. And remember, we also have Vesta shifting into Taurus on the 15th, asteroid goddess energies. And if you want to learn more about that, you'll find my goddess and my angel reports as well over on the website links below. You take good care, have a beautiful month and solar returns. I appreciate your support of the channel. I'll see you again next time.